to make the world a much better place. And we talk about these as the ways in which AI is going to reduce suffering and increase joy. The first thing that's going to happen very, very clearly is that we are going to have a wave of scientific breakthroughs. We are about to come into a world that finds and discovers fusion, quantum computing, nanotechnology, and then a whole wave probably of bio and life sciences improvements. Right? We are on the verge of some incredible things, and the indicators are flashing green if you aren't paying attention. In December last year, we discovered our first antibiotic in 60 years because of AI. In March this year, we split HIV out of DNA because of AI. Right? These indicators are flashing green. And this is going to be driven largely, we think, by a massive boon in worker productivity. The understanding of human potential is going to expand massively across a lot of axes, not least of which is going to be our ability to accomplish tasks, to do things. In theory, AI should answer the question, what if we had an infinite amount of human compute, of geniuses on Earth? What if 1 billion people were studying the cure for these diseases? Obviously then, what we should find ourselves in is a world that has a massive deflationary event. And I know this feels like a hot take because we're in the midst of this incredible local inflation. The CPI index is still high. But the reality is, and I remind everyone of this, we live in a world that is less expensive than any time in history. We, like every generation, have turned many luxuries into staples. That's why the phone in your pocket, the machine in your pocket would have cost $10 million 20 years ago. Today you lose it by another. The average American will travel outside the country on vacation for the first time in our country's history. We've just made the cost of travel that inexpensive. We spend 10% of our wages on foodstuffs on average. Our generation, our grandparents spent 40%. The world is getting less expensive, and this is going to happen at an increased rate, especially as we start to increase what we are actually capable of. The most interesting thing I think is going to happen is we're about to get a lot more time. And I will tell you that I am a little anxious about this, in part because so many people do not believe me. The number of people who have emailed me very angry and said, technology has promised to make us more productive for a long time, promised to give me more time, and failed to do so, right? It's pretty incredible. And I have two responses to these people. They're usually men who work in IT. My first response is to remind these people that in 1960, the average work week was 57 hours. Right? You work less than people previously did. My second response is I ask people to send me their screen time. I ask people to send me photos, or if you challenge me in person, I'll say, show me your screen time. Pull out your device, show me how much time you spend on your devices, and show me where you're spending it. And I will tell you that I think the most intimate question you can ask a stranger these days is, show me your screen time. I would have more success asking for a W-2, I'm basically saying. And the reason is obvious, right? We don't want to audit our own addiction to our device, and we certainly don't want a stranger to do it. We are not looking for a therapy session. Right? We do not want to have someone come to Jesus about our relationship with our device. And even as I speak this morning, many of you are on your phones. Some of you, I'm sure, are taking notes. Others of you are just reflexively doing things. And no one can blame you. We've created these exceptionally addictive machines that fire incredible amounts of dopamine into our brain, even if we are accomplishing nothing. Right? That's not great. Because in a world where we have a bunch more time, my biggest concern in all of this is that we continue to waste it. So my first challenge to this room is to actually create a world where you're more deliberate about your free time. And that means building a more deliberate relationship with your devices. That's actually the best advice I can give to this group. Affluent, interesting people who are well designed for the future economically. The biggest risk, obviously, is that you deliver yourself further from your happiness function. Which, by the way, I know because it's been true for all of human history, everyone in this room is happier when they spend time with friends and family outside in community. That's the rule. Nothing else really matters at the end of the day. It's what people talk about on their deathbeds. So given that, let's talk quickly about how you can prepare